everyone, and welcome back to our Lips Unsealed podcast. We have a very special episode planned for you all today. If you can't tell, we're all jazzed up for the holidays. And we have here with us today our very own Kelly Murphy, who's kind of in charge of planning like our holiday events and everything. So, hi, Kelly.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Kelly.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to join you today.
Yes, we're excited as well. Do you kind of want to jump us off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am Kelly Murphy. I'm our HR generalist here at Ellipse. I am coming up on my 2-year anniversary with the company here at the end of January. So very excited about that. I'm a Dayton, Ohio native, born and raised, never left, went to Wright State, and just excited to be here and get to chat with you all.
Like I said, we're excited to have you. And this is a fun episode because we're kind of just, keeping it light and making it all about holidays. And so, again, thank you for joining us to have some fun before we wrap up the new year.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, what's on top of mind? Like, what are you, we were talking just beforehand. Are we ready for Christmas? Are we ready for holidays? I'm still getting presents delivered.
Me too.
Yeah, I'd say the Ellipse side, I am ready for the holidays. Our party is confirmed. We've got our head count. We know what we're doing for gifts. They are in process. I don't want to get too detailed and give anything away.
You always do such a good, everything's personalized, which I love. It's not just like, oh, we're buying everybody a widget. It's you do an in-depth job of interviewing and sleuthing throughout the year to find out what people are interested in. So that's awesome.
Yes. That's what I really enjoy is, just listening to people talk throughout the year and taking those little tidbits back and, plugging them into my notes. Or if somebody says, hey, I'd really, really like this one cool thing. I'm like, oh, well, I'm listening. So
yeah, any Ellipse employee listening should know to now you can be dropping hints, really directly to Kelly throughout the year on LinkedIn and Facebook.
Yes.
Boy, I wish I had this.
Exactly.
Are there any like difficult ones? Like I'm sure maybe some are like easier than others or anything. Like how do you go about it exactly, really?
Yeah, so I've definitely had some stumpers in the past. With that, I generally call in the expertise of our wonderful owners, Gary, Jenna, and Mikhail, who have had a good chance to spend time with everybody, and especially with Jenna, with her doing this so many times in the past, she will typically be able to tell me what she's done for someone before and what they like. But yeah, there's still, the elusive one or two people where you try your best and hope that they like it, and you get a little creative sometimes, but that's part of the fun is hoping that you're, getting on the right track for people.
Both of you get to play Santa because you do it for the company. Savannah, you're doing it for the friends of the company. You just spent was it yesterday or the day before just wrapping gifts and packaging gifts up all day?
Yeah, so it was like kind of like Santa's workshop in the office the other day. I had, Kelly, you were there, you'd have seen in the break room or the extra office that everything was, panned out, like boxes everywhere, and I was just like throwing the extra boxes in one place, and then there's like packing peanuts all over the floors like a winter wonderland. Crazy. But yeah, so everyone's getting some gifts shipped out too, so that's fun.
That's kind of what my basement looks like right now too. I'm just moving back in after a long flood activity and getting everything back to order, but now it's become chaos in the present way. I've got all the presents laid out and like I said, boxes just thrown aside for now and packing material on one side and just kind of trying to piece everything together.
Yeah, shove it to the side till after Christmas. That's
exactly. It has to get worse before it gets better down here is my my philosophy.
Goodness. So yeah, Kelly, and you plan the Christmas party too. So yeah, we're kind of both a little bit in the event planning sector a little bit, I guess. How do you kind of go about, looking for venues or things like that?
Yeah, so I will say, and Savannah, you and I have chuckled about this a couple times now, that year 2 is much easier than year 1. So, with year 1, there was a lot of research. I even went to local venues and did a few tours. met with people. But with year 2, we know that we have a pretty good thing established where we typically have our party. So this year it was more so just making sure we still wanted to go with that venue and then calling to see what available dates they had. So that cut my process down by about 30 hours or so. So that was good. And it's, you can rely on what you've already done before. So, yeah, but last year, lots of research, and that was fun though, because now I know about a lot of venues here in the Dayton area for future parties and stuff like that. So
you get to do a lot of like wining and dining. Do they bring you in and give you like, samples of the food and
a cheese board?
I wish.
Charcuterie.
That'd be really nice. I know what like the back area looks like for a lot of these venues now. Like I've done a lot of tours of the kitchens and stuff. No cheese boards yet, but if any venues are listening, that'd be nice.
Cheese boards accepted, yeah.
Offering up
what's your top holiday tradition outside of work? Do you have something in your personal life, either with your current family setup or your growing up that sticks out?
Yeah, so I will say probably one of my favorite traditions that we had going on as children was when we would meet for our big family gathering with my dad's side of the family. My cousins and I would always get together after dinner and perform a little skit. So like one year we did a talent show, like full on dressed up. My cousin and I lip synced to the Spice Girls. My other cousin did her high school cheerleading routine. Like it was a variety show. So that's where we got started.
Nice.
And we just had such a blast that, we just kept continuing with that. One year we did like an SNL skit based on Jesus's birth story. And my little sister was about 4 at the time. So we had her like pretend to be Jesus and like had her in a little manger. So that's probably my fondest childhood memory outside of decorating cookies with the whole family. But now as an adult, my boyfriend's family gets together on Christmas Eve and they have appetizers and do kind of like a little pajama swap every Christmas Eve. So I look forward to that. It's just like nice and relaxed and casual and everybody just kind of gets to hang out together. So I'd say those are probably like the 2 biggest ones that stick out for holiday season.
That's awesome. Is there video of this SNL skit? Because I think we'd love to see it.
Yes. Yeah, of course there's video.
We need to schedule that for a future podcast viewing.
Yes, I would be glad to find that. I would love to find that for you guys.
That'd be awesome. Post it on YouTube for the world.
Love it. Yep.
Yes.
How about you, Savannah?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I would say growing up, my dad is one of 9. So we always have like a Christmas party at my grandma's house, and she lives in this itty bitty farmhouse. So it's just like all these people, like my aunts and uncles, my cousins, probably like 50 or so people crammed in this little house. And there's always just like jokes around, like if you find a seat, you have to keep it, because once you get up, you're not going to get another one for the rest of the night. Like your butt is standing. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. And then kind of like Kelly mentioned, my family does making every year. So we all get together for that and bake. And then at the end of the night, Santa will show up at the house. And so you get to tell them what you want and all that fun stuff. So yeah, those are kind of my 2 favorite traditions. What about you, Bobby?
We had I grew up in Falls Church in Virginia, and the Santa Claus would come around every Christmas Eve on a fire engine. And it's a really small town. It's only about a mile square. So it's a really small town. So I guess they, would do the entire town. And so at some point you're just kind of waiting and, in anticipation, because you don't really know when it's going to happen, but then you can hear the fire engine, horns. And so, it's just, the excitement builds, and finally he's running down your street and throwing candy. So you're running outside, whatever weather is, and just trying to find this candy in the middle of the night that he's thrown out into the wild. Yeah, so I miss that. And they still do it, as far as I know. I have friends who still live there, and he's still running around and doing the same thing. So he carves out time in the middle of his busy schedule to jump on a fire engine in my hometown, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And currently, I think we do a everybody's grown, so it's a little different, but still watch a lot of like this similar or the same movies every year. Just kind of in a very distinct way. It's like, hey, this night goes for this movie, this night is for this movie, and kind of leads up to Christmas. So Elf is
Mhm.
always Christmas Eve, and the other one of my other favorites is Eloise at Christmas time. If you haven't seen that one, really fun movie based on the books that we watch on Christmas Eve. So
That's fun. Is Christmas Day a Christmas Story? Is that the movie that goes on then?
that one, that one is dropped off. I do like it, but it's not a family favorite. So I sneak it in at my own leisure. It
Oh,
doesn't get
man.
used to, it's maybe it still does. It like runs 24 hours. So sometimes it might
I
get put
think
on in
it
the
still
background.
does, yeah.
Yeah, like on TBS or one of those
Mhm.
stations runs it 24 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess
so
that brings us to the question of if Ellipse Solutions was a Christmas movie, what would it be? Kelly?
All right, I'm glad that you sent these out ahead of time, so I had time to like fully formulate my thoughts. So it's twofold here. So I think part of it is Elf, and the reason I say that is when I first started meeting everybody in person, I felt like Buddy the Elf when he realizes it's Santa and he's like, Santa, I know him. Like that's how I felt when I finally got to see everybody in real
yeah,
life. And the other part is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Specifically, like the banter between Chevy Chase's character and Randy Quaid's character, because when we all get together as a group, I've noticed like we are all comedians. Everybody is just back and forth feeding off of each other with quick, witty banter. So I'd say we are National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Elf mixed together.
I love it.
Yes. What about you, Bobby? Do you have any?
I didn't prepare, so I was going off the cuff, and the first thing that came to mind was National Lampoon's Vacation. And I wasn't thinking about the comedic aspect, but just the different various characters. Like you got, Clark, who's going all out, and people in our organization who are like that, or just go all out, in everything they do. And then wacky cousin Eddie coming in, like maybe like a a Gregor or a Bobby, just bring a total different aspect to it. And then the just all the fun, at the end of the day, all the fun. And man, there's some great sentiment in that movie too. I mean, Clark's stuck in the attic watching that old film that kind of brings in that sweet spot. So
Mhm. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I came up with these questions and I actually forgot to prepare for this question as well, but I was actually literally thinking the same as both of you guys, National Lampoon, just like how Bobby said, all of the different characters coming together, and I feel like that's kind of how our company is, with just an array of different personalities, which is great and I love it. So, it's awesome.
we could have said It's a Wonderful Life. Because it's such a it is because there are those times where maybe you're a little stressed at work and you wonder, should I be here? And then you realize it really is a great place to work. So
That is true. That's a good one. Cool. Well, I don't know if we have any other questions for Miss Kelly. Bobby, do you have anything else?
I'm wondering about, what about Christmas songs? Anybody have a, go-to Christmas song? Or, we have a station here in Colorado that plays, and maybe all around they do this now, but it was unique, I think, at some time. But Cozy 101, starting like November 27th or 20, just after Thanksgiving, starts playing Christmas music 100% of the time. So do you have that in Ohio?
There is a station that I don't know if they're 100%. Well, it's Delilah, so it's not actually.
Delilah's on Cozy 101. She's in the evening. They have Delilah on in the evening for sure.
It's so funny because I saw a video the other day that's like Delilah had us all fooled, and we all thought she was just like local to us, like no one else knew about her, but she's everywhere. I don't know why we all thought that.
She's everywhere. Right, and I'm not even sure she's real anymore. She's been doing this so long. I think she's just AI, Delilah AI or something.
That soft voice.
Not even real anymore. Yeah, like Dear Abby. She's been, there's the Dear Abby that started is gone now. So Delilah's the same way. Right. But yeah, no. So so Christmas song. Any favorite Christmas song?
I would say that I would have to pick Feliz Navidad, just because we did an ensemble dance to that in that sketch show that I was just telling you guys about with my cousin. So every time I hear that, I think about us all jumping around and dancing around and just having fun together. But if you were to ask my dad, my favorite song is Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, just because we did a performance to that in my 7th grade cheerleading squad. And that's my dad's like own personal Christmas tradition, is making the whole family watch that every year. So he's like, Kelly, your song's on. So, either one of those two are the top hits for sure.
Yes. I think my favorite right now is Under the Tree by Kelly Clarkson. I just really like the beat to it right now. That's nice. All. I don't have any like backstory to it or anything.
Is that a new song that she just put out, or is that?
I think it's been out for a couple years. I remember like a couple years back we went to Zoo Lights, and that was like the one song they were like corresponding to. But so yeah, if you haven't listened to it, you should give it a listen. It's pretty jazzy. But what about you, Bobby?
I came across some really cool like alt Christmas music, and like the Bare Naked Ladies do a really cool version of a couple of Christmas songs, and they have a dreidel song which is really fun. And some old blues stuff. There's some old blues like Otis Redding Christmas songs that are really cool, like Merry Christmas Baby. So I tend to gravitate towards some of the lesser heard songs at the end of the day.
Nice. That's cool. I have to check those out for sure. Well, cool.
So everybody is done with your own personal shopping, and we kind of talked about it at the beginning, but you've anything left to do in that realm?
I am not prepared at all. So we've been a little busy in our personal lives lately. So we are going to get creative this year and see what we can come up with for everybody. Luckily, my family's not meeting for another week, so we've got a little bit of time on that end. But yeah, I was just telling Savannah, we might be giving people experiences as opposed to physical gifts this year. So
yeah.
Those are the best times, though, honestly.
And Savannah, when you get together with these like 400 people in the small farmhouse, are you all exchanging gifts, or is it like or no gifts, or how does that work?
We used to when we were younger. We used to do like a white elephant between the cousins, and that kind of stopped. I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago, just because like now there's great grandkids. Yeah, great grandkids. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would just be a lot. And then my grandma also, like, she just has our parents buy us a gift and then she gives it to us, because that would be so much for her to go out and shop for. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how that all works there. But
and does he wrap your gifts, or did he leave them unwrapped?
For us growing up, he wrapped them.
He wrapped them.
What about for you guys, or Bobby with your kids and everything?
Mine, Santa gifts were always unwrapped, cool. He always set things up so like everything was ready to play with. It was pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's fun.
Cool.
Santa was a little bit of a mixed bag for us. Sometimes he would like wrap the big stuff, and then like the stuff around our stockings, that would be unwrapped. So yeah, a little mixed.
Nice.
And were you one of these? I was up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like checking every hour to see if Santa had arrived. Like zero tolerance for waiting. You guys?
We had to stay in bed. We were under strict orders to stay in bed.
You're on lockdown.
We were on lockdown, but what Santa did one year was my dad set up a camcorder in our living room, and we caught Santa on camera coming in. And actually, I think it was coming in through the fireplace. So it started with like a foot coming out. And then we got to see Santa like walk around and see our cookies. And for some reason, Santa had the same handwriting as my dad. So that was a little confusing. But we caught him on camera. So that was enough for us to stay in bed.
Aww, that's so fun. Yeah, normally I always had intent of, getting up in the middle of the night and checking it out, but we had like 4 different Christmas parties to go to Christmas Eve all the time. It was always so hectic. So by the
Yeah, of
time I
course.
got home, I'd be pretty tired, but was always still so excited. And one year I actually slept on the couch and like the tree's right there. And I don't know why my parents let me do that. And I don't know how I slept through them bringing out all the presents, so
Wow.
I don't know how that exactly worked now thinking back on it. But
Yeah. How did you sleep through Santa breaking in and stomping around? I mean, that's the thing about this dude. He's super quiet. For me, he would always make one like last noise. Like he'd be quiet, 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 and then all of a sudden, like boom, and then I'd know that he'd left the building, so I'd feel comfortable heading out and check.
yeah.
And I would run out and look at everything really quickly, so excited, and then I would go back. So it'd be like 2 a.m, run out, like look at everything, and then run back to the room, and then wait until dawn broke, and then and then go get everybody up.
Yeah. Were you always the first one awake then, waking everyone else up?
I was, even though I had 2 younger siblings, I was the one that was still getting up, and kind of running the show.
That's fun. Yeah, I'm the youngest by like 6 years, so I was always the annoying little sibling, like, come on, let's get up. And they're just like, oh, like, okay.
Right. That's funny. No, I was always, even as an older, sibling, I was still into it and
That's fun.
ready to go in the morning. Yep.
That doesn't really surprise me coming from you, Bobby.
Always enjoy the party.
Yes, for sure.
Cool. Well, Kelly, really appreciate having you on. This is a fun, kind of holiday break for us from talking boring D365 stuff. So
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been really fun to join you and get to join in on the fun. This has been a good break in the day for sure.
Yes, definitely.
And wear the hat the rest of the day too. So
yeah, I think this is staying on.
Yep.
Christmas, just sleep in it, everything. Well, cool. Yeah. Thanks again, Kelly, and happy holidays to everyone listening and to you guys too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.